I've got to be honest with you. I can't even look at my phone anymore. I don't want it. Why? Because the whole city of Los Angeles is apparently sending me their naked drug addict content. Seriously, my inbox is just a continuous stream of raw, unfiltered California collapse. But while my phone is on fire, nudes and sexting have the entire Democratic Party on edge tonight. Look at Los Angeles. California voters hit the polls tomorrow, and Spencer Pratt, yes, that Spencer Pratt, actually has an 85% shot at making the runoff. Why? Because the voters are completely done with Mayor Karen Bass. People are saying, Karen tricked us. She doesn't get to do that twice. Pratt is out there working the streets, and let me tell you what those streets look like under Karen Bass. It's not a reality show. It's a horror show. Somebody literally just died on a live stream in the middle of the sidewalk, and the LAPD had to set up a white tent to cover the body. So when Bill Maher tried to corner Pratt to talk about solar panels, Spencer looked at him and said, "Have you seen the sidewalks? I don't need to know about solar right now. I need to make sure moms are safe and animals aren't being abused." Maher, totally shocked, goes, "But if you're the mayor, you have to learn these issues. Solar panels." And Pratt shut him right down. We are about 3 years away from worrying about solar panels. We need to get the naked drug addicts off the sidewalks first. We can't walk and chew gum at the same time in LA right now. So spit the gum out. Solar can wait. Boom. He's exactly right. Big money doesn't want to invest in LA because we allow butt-naked addicts to camp out in front of five-star hotels. And when people doubt it, Pratt offers to send 1,000 videos a week to prove it. The whole city is exposed, just like Karen Bass. And it's not just LA. California has a massive case of the blue state blues. In the bluest state in the country, Republicans are registering 8 times faster than Democrats. The whole map is moving, and the Republican Senate odds are the best they've been in months, with an 11-point swing in just weeks. The Democrats just cannot close the deal. And for starters, it's because their candidates cannot keep it zipped. Every time we turn around, a liberal candidate has somebody else up against the wall or in a bed. What is happening over there? Take a look at the Democrats' best shot at flipping Maine's Senate seat. Graham Plattner. The media is trying to cover for him, but the guy is essentially a nipple Nazi. He was just caught on a hookup app that the New York Times literally labeled a haven for predators and minors, sending a dozen random people a ton of explicit messages. His wife caught him. He also admitted to doing cocaine when he was in the Marines, but hey, his excuse is that Barack Obama did blow and became president. So it is what it is, right? Oh, it gets better. This guy has had a massive Nazi tattoo on his chest for 18 years. Every time he got out of the shower for nearly 2 decades, he looked in the mirror and thought, yeah, that looks good. He's claimed a Purple Heart recipient deserved to die, said rural white folks are stupid, and argued that women who drink should accept responsibility for getting raped. Now that he's caught creeping online, he's telling the media it's just a bunch of hot gossip and that we should focus on the material realities of Mainers. Then he trots out his wife to say, Amy and I have a very loving, very happy marriage, and the establishment wants to rip it apart. No, Graham, your phone is ripping it apart. His wife actually went on camera and admitted they are currently using 3 separate therapists, a marriage counselor, her personal counselor, and his personal counselor. 3 therapists for 1 couple. This guy can't be in the Senate. He's a walking red flag. But Democrats think his bizarre baggage is somehow hot. They're out here asking him on MSNBC to describe the healthy masculinity he represents because he lifts weights, shoots guns, and goes to therapy. Even the liberal anchors are looking at this slow motion train wreck like, are you seeing what we're seeing? The guy has baggage bigger than a Trump ballroom. He confessed to being a literal communist, so he couldn't even pass a basic security clearance. And corporate America wouldn't even give him a job interview. His only qualification is that he hates Donald Trump. And the Democrats are like, yep, that's our guy. All of this just to try and knock off Susan Collins, a Republican who basically votes like a Democrat anyway. It's the same exact thing down in Texas. They will run absolutely anybody. Their golden boy down there is a vegan preacher who loves the transgender mafia, while his own church bankrolls abortions. He sounds exactly like Kamala Harris, repeating the same scripted lines verbatim. I've gone to every corner of this state, from Beaumont to El Paso, from Amarillo to Brownsville, and people whisper to me, I'm not a Democrat, like they're in the witness protection program. And speaking of the script falling apart, how about Dr. Jill Biden? She's out here doing a media tour defending Joe's infamous debate disaster. She actually admitted that when Joe got off the stage, he looked at her and said, Jill, I really messed up, didn't I? And she said, yes, you did. But then her mind started racing, trying to find a low bar to lift him up. So she told him, well, you answered every question. What a standard. The Democrats are furious because they finally realized Joe and Jill Biden gaslighted them and lied to them the entire campaign. They told everyone they were just bedwetters and that the polls were fine. And then Joe basically admitted, oh yeah, we were lying the whole time. The Bidens won't own a thing, and the Democratic Party is angry. They lost, they were lied to, and they know they were in on the lie. So now, their entire strategy is just blind rage. Nazi tattoo? Come on board. Vegan in Texas? Perfect. Rage isn't a strategy, folks. It's just a cope. Remember the good old-fashioned campaign scandals? Like Mitt Romney's binders full of women, or Bill Clinton smoking a doobie? That used to be a big deal. Now we've got a guy running for Senate with a literal concentration camp guard tattoo, and the left-wing media is playing word games saying it resembles a Nazi tat. No, it is a Nazi tattoo. I've got friends with bad tattoos, but nobody accidentally walks out of a parlor with a swastika because they couldn't decide on an eagle. The fact that these candidates are even viable speaks to the absolute worst slate of Democratic contenders we have ever seen in American history. From the naked sidewalks of LA, to the three-therapist circus in Maine, to a vegan lecturing Texans about brisket, the Democratic dream is officially dead. And Dan Bongino is exactly right. I mean, think about it. A vegan running for office in Texas? Are you crazy? Have these people ever heard of Sam Houston, Jim Bowie, Davy Crockett, a little thing called the Alamo? Texans do not screw around, and they certainly do not eat fake meat. But it gets even worse. Look at the guy running in Michigan, Abdul El Sayed, who's out there campaigning with activists like Hassan, who basically look at the horrific October 7th attacks and say, yeah, the whole mass rape thing doesn't really bother me too much. Like, really? I seriously miss the days when a campaign scandal was just about a candidate smoking a doobie in college. We need those days back. And then you look back at LA. They have this woman who literally watched half the city burn to a crisp during the riots. And the Democrats are running her again. They're saying she deserves another term. I mean, how much worse could you do than burning down half of your own city? Wait, actually, you can do worse. You could be vacationing in Ghana, Africa, while your city burns down. Look it up, folks. That actually happened. She wasn't even in the country. California, I love you, Californians. I know you're all American citizens. But what is your government doing? The governor is currently building a multi-billion-dollar bullet train to absolutely nowhere. He could have built a space ladder to the literal moon for the exact same price. And the guy who is supposedly leading the country, Joe Biden, the guy who appointed the HHS secretary, doesn't even know his own cabinet member's name. He called him Javier Beccaria. It's Becerra, Joe. Then you've got Tom Steyer, who is out here running a campaign railing against billionaires while being a freaking billionaire himself. I'm sorry, Democrats, but you've got to stop stepping on your own unit. You've got to get out of your own way. Look, I get it. We Republicans have our own issues with our guys, too. But the left is running an absolute clown car this cycle. Steyer literally did an event with a transgender track star, a biological man competing against women, and said, "I'm so proud of you." Really? I could beat girls in a foot race too, Tom. Why are you proud of that? Even Gavin Newsom, who is politically to the left of Vladimir Lenin, tried to walk back that insane position in a recent interview. It is a universally unpopular position. Protecting women's sports is common sense. But the progressive slate this cycle is so bad, it's almost impressive. I honestly can't wait to see who they nominate next, because I didn't think it could get any worse than a Nazi tattoo, a Texas vegan, or an incompetent mayor, but they keep surprising us. But while the Democrats are completely melting down at home, we have a massive Fox News alert on the global stage. The Iranians just got the absolute wind knocked out of them overnight. U.S. forces conducted major retaliatory airstrikes on multiple targets, completely flattening the enemy's radar and command and control centers. This aggressive response came right after the mullahs made the mistake of shooting down one of our high-tech, $4 million Predator drones. Central Command says our strikes were purely defensive, but the message was loud and clear. Kuwait was also caught in the crosshairs this weekend. The enemy fired off a heavy barrage of missiles and kamikaze drones into the country, including 2 drones explicitly headed straight toward our U.S. airbase there, though fortunately they were neutralized. Meanwhile, Iran's favorite proxy, Hezbollah, was feeling a little feisty too, launching over 50 rockets into Israel. By morning, Prime Minister Netanyahu ordered the IDF to strike the heart of Lebanon, pounding Hezbollah strongholds in Beirut. Israeli ground forces are now pushing deep into mainland Lebanon, even capturing a 900-year-old medieval castle. It is their deepest military incursion into the country in over 25 years. Now, Donald Trump isn't exactly thrilled with how Israel is handling the optics of this, and I'll get to that in a second, but the Iranians are already crying foul, calling this a ceasefire violation, suspending negotiations, and threatening to completely block the strategic Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says that's just a total bluff. Writing on Truth Social, 47 made it clear that while talks are technically continuing at a rapid pace, if the Iranians want to walk away, he couldn't care less. He told NBC, quote, "I think we've been talking too much. If you want to know the truth, I think going silent would be very good, and that could be for a long time." Going silent doesn't mean we stop. It just means we let the U.S. naval blockade work its magic. Skycom reports that the blockade has already turned around 121 rogue ships, and U.S. officials told the New York Times that our military has been quietly escorting at least 70 commercial vessels safely through the strait. The president says this is a waiting game that we are undisputedly winning. He's in no hurry. Sure, we'd all love to rush it so gasoline prices come tumbling down. But Trump knows you don't make a good deal when you're in a rush. Slowly but surely, we are getting exactly what we want. And if Iran won't cooperate, Trump made it clear we're going to end it a completely different way. We are sitting on the world's largest arsenal, and our